Personally, I read like 5 different novels at a time very often, and so I do not have a problem maintaining the story plot, but I am not normal. Hello there, and welcome to my watch of the original supernatural soap opera, Dark Shadows. I am your host, Joel Sharpton, one half of the Articulate Coven, and we are your podcast and fan community about Anne Rice and her immortal universe, the Vampire Chronicles and Lives of the Mayfair Witches especially. This show, though, is our little treat. Patrons get one of these every weekday. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get them more and more often over at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do early and ad-free, including so many more Dark Shadows waiting for you if you're a fan of that. This week we are going to be wrapping up early. We've done Thanksgiving already. We've done Christmas. That's behind us. This week we face New Year's. Our Thursday episode will be episode 135. That is a Friday episode as they recorded it, and we're going to take Friday off because we're going to be in New Orleans celebrating Anne Rice's life. The Anne Rice Celebration of Life for All Saints Day is happening as I record this weekend. A bunch of the Articulate Coven members are going to be there, including my co-host Ashley. You'll see a bunch of great content from us here on Patreon and YouTube and anywhere else that you watch this stuff, but you will get one fewer episode of Dark Shadows this week than normal. Right now, we're going to get into episode 133 and find out what is happening with Laura and Roger and David and all the rest of them up at Collinwood.
The one person who can prove I wasn't driving the car that night 10 years ago has just turned up. Yes, Blair, Laura Collins. I'd given her up. They told me her case was hopeless at the sanitarium. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, here at the hotel. No. I don't know what her plans are. I'm going to find out. This woman has the power to give me the one thing I want most in this life, and I intend to get it.
Just as one man is driven by a desperate kind of hope, so is another driven by confusion and fear.
Okay, first of all, that's interesting. I don't know that we've had a narration that's taken us to 2 different locations like this before with like 2 separate scenes. Okay, great cold open, though, even though it was strange and going to 2 separate scenes. The beauty of that, and I think the best cold opens do this, totally resets it, right? For somebody just walking into the room. When I was a kid, you'd go to the corner store and you'd buy a comic book off the rack, you know? And it would be just like whatever comic book was out at that moment in that particular store. And it may or may not be in any sort of sequence compared to the last one that you read, right? And so comic book writers did a great job of onboarding you to the adventure, even though there was an ongoing narrative. The best soap operas do that, and the best episodes in soap operas do that in a way that is, it doesn't feel false. His frantic conversation, one-sided conversation with Blair, it feels normal for Burke, honestly, but it also is incredibly helpful in case you've forgotten exactly where we are. Personally, I read like 5 different novels at a time very often, and so I do not have a problem maintaining the story plot, but I am not normal.
Hey, something's bugging you.
Yeah, well, something's always bugging me.
I mean, more than usual.
It's my privilege. It's one of the privileges of the Constitution of the United States. Guarantees me the right to be bugged whenever and wherever I so choose.
I love him talking about the Constitution of the United States since he, about what, I don't know, 8, 9 years, no, less than that, 5, 6 years after this, he plays John Hancock in the 1776 film. John Hancock, I don't believe, signed the Constitution. He did sign the Declaration, though, the Declaration of Independence.
I didn't mean to push you.
Maggie, I appreciate your interest, your belief in me, your support. Honest, I do.
You know, you've been acting this way ever since that woman came in the restaurant.
I mean, has he acted that much differently than he's acted since Burke came back to town? Feels like it's been pretty similar the whole show.
Laura Collins.
Oh. Hey, what has she got to do with you?
The fog. Very heavy. Not good for the fishermen.
That was an excellent subterfuge. Nobody had noticed that transition in conversation. There's Sam. We've already done this. He's going to knock on the door and nobody's there.
Laura. Laura, it's me, Burke.
I wonder how many scenes they can make out of him knocking on her door with no answer. We've got 2 separate ones so far.
If she'd married me, our lives would have been different in this town.
You never got her out of your system. She's married, or had you forgotten?
That isn't or never was a marriage. It never could be either.
What does her coming back mean to you?
To me, I've been waiting 10 years to talk to her. 10 years to wait. 10 years to hear her say a few important words.
You didn't do it? I think is what he means. But I do wonder, is there going to be romance rekindled there? Speaking of Burke's romance, let me pull this up because this is a good piece of feedback. And totally valid, although not exactly the way that I read things. All right. From Bill Verne on YouTube, on episode 114. I had commented on the age discrepancies between Vicky and Carolyn and Burke. I don't think people had problems with the ages. Mitch Ryan was 32, which, boy, I'm sure that he's right here. But Mitch Ryan's 32 in this picture? Holy moly. People really did age different back then, didn't they? Mitch Ryan was 32, which didn't make him ineligible for Vicky, 21, or Carolyn, 23. Okay, our actresses there was surprising too. Vicky is played, in my opinion, at least a couple of years older than Carolyn is, but the actresses were actually the opposite. Roger, meanwhile, was in his early 40s. Hollywood had been making movies for about a decade at this point with leading men like Gary Cooper, Cary Grant, Humphrey Bogart, Bing Crosby, Clark Gable, etc. But the leading women were all younger, like Audrey Hepburn, Doris Day, Grace Kelly, Leslie Caron, etc. We seem to be living in a somewhat puritanical time where we expect people on screen to be close in age. In my experience, a mutual attraction takes precedence over comparing birth certificates. That is all very fair, Bill. Here's my thing on that. I don't have a huge problem with age gaps, and honestly, if I'd known the age gaps were that small, 9 years between Carolyn and Burke, for instance, or excuse me, between the actors at least that play Carolyn and Burke, whereas the characters may be a little bit further apart. Same thing here with Vicky and Burke. Even that's 11 years. That's not terrible in my opinion, especially since Vicky was the actress playing Vicky is 21. My parents, my mom and dad, were 10 years apart. He was born in 47. She was born in 57. So, yeah, it happens. Especially that period of Hollywood you're talking about. Absolutely, the leading men and the leading ladies would be, generations apart. I don't think we need to go to that. I also wouldn't describe it as puritanical to say that we're focused on age gaps or more concerned about age gaps now than we were then. I think what has happened is people understand the power imbalance that tends to be there in relationships when you have a younger person with an older person. If you're in your late 30s or your mid 40s and you're dating someone in their early 20s, you're established, you've got a career, you probably own something. They don't own anything. They don't have a career. They aren't established. So the simple place where you can very quickly get to in that relationship where the older person is basically providing, you know, all of the capital, at least in the relationship. Yeah, it's a problem in my opinion. That part of it is a problem. I will say also, I do like even when you're telling a story, you can do this without putting that big age gap in the actors. The one that surprised me the other day is the actors that played Priscilla and Elvis in the recent Priscilla movie from Sofia Coppola. The actor, Jacob Elordi, played Elvis. He was only, I think, a year or 2 years older than the actress who played Priscilla, and they were both in their 20s, even though at the beginning of the film in their relationship, she's portraying a 14-year-old and Elvis was 24. So, boy, color me surprised, though, that Mitch Ryan is 32 years old here. Wow.
Oh, never mind. I lost what little appetite I had anyhow.
Hello, Sam.
Hello?
Do you remember me? Lara Collins.
Yes. Of course I remember you.
It's been a long time.
It's a lot of years.
Well, you look the same.
Alcohol is a preservative.
That is very funny and very not true, ladies and gentlemen. Don't pickle yourself. That ain't the way it works.
Yeah. Well, I've got a wet canvas waiting for me. It's nice to have you back. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Pop.
Sam is a terrible performer. David Ford's a very good performer. Sam's a terrible one.
Well, if you see Burke again and he asks about me, would you say you haven't seen me?
Okay.
I know I'll have to face him ultimately, but I'd really rather not do so just now.
Okay. Loving Laura Collins. She continues to impress. Very much enjoying this. Too late. You're going to have to face him now, woman. It's 4 of our actors, by the way. I wonder if they're going to do the Hello Newman like Roger and Laura did.
Hello, Lara.
Hello, Burke.
All right, hers had a little more stank on it than his did, but neither one of them were nearly as bad as Roger's and Laura's were.
How are you, Burke?
In a word, bitter.
Well, I knew you would be.
Did I have an alternative?
None whatever.
Thank you. At least I wasn't wrong about that. Is it possible you're more beautiful than I imagined?
All right. That was a warm smile. I mean, if Mitch Ryan tells you, is it possible you're more beautiful than he imagined? You gonna give a little, ooh.
Oh. It's been quite a struggle to get where I am. To do what I'm doing.
Yeah, what are you doing, Laura? Tell him what's the plan.
I've had in years. Have you seen Roger yet?
Okay. What is it about the flames? Is she just an arson? Is she just an arsonist?
He's an unusual kid. Very bright, very sensitive. He doesn't take to too many people, but for some reason he's taken to me.
Well, you're always very easy to take to.
It's a pretty good compliment on your part, Laura. I wouldn't mind hearing I was easy to take to.
I'll tell you something about David. He's the kind of son I would like to have had.
I think he's still the son you did have.
He's the kind of son we could have had.
Yes, Burke. Exactly the kind.
Yeah, that's his kid.
You're the key to that, Lara. How do you feel about that?
Well, I must solve my own problems first. Then and only then will I be able to deal with the other practical realities.
But they will be dealt with, won't they?
I mean, okay. It seems pretty simple to me. She is going to get David, and then she is willing to help Burke out of his false case. Why it took so long, Laura? I mean, I guess Burke didn't have the money, right? Now Burke can fix your problems if Roger tries to cut you off.
It's been very nice seeing you. I trust we'll meet again.
We will, I assure you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Too early for the end of the episode, I think. Is he still painting his woman on fire painting, or is it a different one? Is it a new one? He's just added to it. All right, that is going to be the end of our episode, I guess. Well, I think she's going to burn it all down, folks. Excellent episode for 123, I would say, and good job to David Ford and Mitch Ryan, especially. Man, I'm loving this character of Laura Collins. Really excited to see what she does. We got 124 coming up tomorrow for patrons. If you're watching these on YouTube, don't forget you can get more often, and always ad-free at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you access to everything we do. So go check it out if you're in a position to do so. I'll be back soon with episode 124.